All right, good morning, everyone. We're live, very live, at 6 minutes now after 9 o'clock. Top of the morning to you. Happy Tuesday. Heather Slayton is right next to us. Raylene's right on the other side.
Good morning.
I like this setup is really amazing. I have to just say again, thanks to Michael Booten for setting this up down in your basement, Raylene. This is incredible.
Pretty nice of him.
I don't know if I can hear you.
Pretty nice of him.
There you go.
I forget that I'm holding my mic over here because I keep forgetting to get a mic stand. Do you have one in your car?
I do.
Oh,
I
good.
actually have several. I have a trunk load of equipment, and my back seat is just, I don't even, honestly, there's so much stuff that's covered up by other stuff. I don't even know what's in my back seat. I mean, and here's the thing, and you all know this. My car is trashed on a good day.
Putting it mildly.
It's always trashed, but since the flood, it's just I just
Worse.
I don't know. And then I go to clean it out, and I maybe take 2 or 3 things out, and I'm just tired and want to just go sit down.
Then you're all done.
Yeah.
Well, there's always tomorrow.
Hey,
Maybe.
Heather, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Can we start with any kind of weather? Do you guys do you want me to do it?
It's sunny
It's
out
on
right now.
It's
Can we
on
just hang
aired
on?
out
All right. What is it?
already.
What do we have? Do you know?
It's nice out right now.
Yeah.
Right now it is.
Just
So-
hold on to the good things you've got.
A typical summer day is expected today with highs in the upper 70s to low 80s, mild humidity, and a 10 to 20% chance of a pop-up thunderstorm.
All right.
That is for
So
today.
83 later on is what I'm showing for a daytime high.
For a high.
We're at 67.
Yes, we are.
So tonight maybe
And it
some.
feels like 66,
Yeah.
according to my phone.
It's nice to see the giant orange ball in the sky.
It is. Tomorrow we'll see even more of it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Thursday, there's a pretty great chance of rain and thunderstorms and wind and yuckiness.
Now I heard that with the rains that we had yesterday, that Richardson Road is flooded.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, that's what I'm hearing. Is that there's more flooding over by Richardson Road.
I think the water does pool when it's pouring because the drains are having a hard time keeping up, and then it goes away almost instant.
Okay.
Because and the other night when it rained, Friday night, when we got some pretty good storms here, the same thing happened, and people were like, oh, it's flooding again, but it wasn't, and we're all in panic mode right now.
Sure.
It makes everybody, just the thought makes
Yeah.
us cringe. So
I bet my weather app is like, I'm on it all the time watching what's going on. So
Yeah.
and it's going to be just crazy hot here over the next couple of days.
yes, but not as hot as it is in Phoenix.
No,
116
Yeah, that's
degrees
crazy.
for a
Heard
high
about
today.
that.
At
Yes.
5:30 this morning, it was already 91.
But it's a dry heat.
Yeah. No, thank you.
You know, let's say this: if you're out still mucking and working and helping others and whatnot this week, stay hydrated. 86 degrees tomorrow, and Friday they're saying 90. So, and then we're back into the 70s with a lot of rain here for like the next 10,
I'm a
12
70s
days.
girl. That's what I like. I could.
Yeah.
I'm a bitch because I don't like it really cold and I don't like it really hot.
Yeah, well, that's what, Pennsylvania. You got to move to Pennsylvania
New
then.
Mexico.
All right. Tennessee.
Yeah, Aaron
Anyway.
says Alaska. I say New Mexico. Yeah,
Last night you were on the air with Michael Booten for Barry Beat.
we were.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure that it was a great show, and you
It
guys
was
had
amazing.
a ton of information.
We did. We talked about the city council meeting tonight, which is at 5 o'clock, not the normal 7 o'clock. So
Okay.
people need to be aware that council is at 5, not 7 tonight.
All right. Is there a Zoom link on that too?
Of course,
Okay.
there is.
All right.
And so all of that's up there. It's on Air It Out, and you can also get it on the Berry City Community fan page and, of course, the berrycity.com .gov page.
All right. Where should we begin, Heather? Let's
ask Heather.
Let's say hi to Heather.
It's her show today.
Washington County Mental Health. I got the greatest hug from this lady this morning.
Overdue.
God, I'm so glad you're here and with us, and for coming in here this morning. And we have a lot to talk about. I'm looking down. I'm seeing that you have a lot of notes. Obviously, one of the things I want to talk with you about is the Imagination Station, but we don't have to go there now. Let's get out what you have. First of all, you guys, all of you, you yourself, so many of you, I've seen your posts. I've seen what you guys are doing. And just before this flood, we were on the air talking about how much we all need mental health and just the times that we're in. And then this flood hits, and holy crap, sucker punch, man. I mean, this is heavy, 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 heavy times for a lot of people.
Yeah, this has definitely kicked our community response into high gear. And I had to write a lot of notes just so I wouldn't miss anything, because we have been just running nonstop in the community. And our phones have been going nonstop, which is good because that means people know where to find the help that they need.
Yeah.
And I like to think it would be hard for them to miss that information because we have been pumping it out so hard.
Right. You have.
Yeah. We've been at the auditorium. I mean, you guys see what we're doing online, but we've been at the auditorium every single day. So our response to all of this actually started in the morning on the 10th when we could see what was coming.
Yeah.
We immediately started pumping information out to our staff and others across the state. We started looking at which of the people we served in our housing properties, danger zone, and how we were going to make sure that they would be safe, whether that meant just moving them up a floor in a building, moving them into a different building, maybe moving them to the shelter we knew would be set up at the Barry Auditorium, well in advance of that being even talked about yet. So we were on the move in the morning before the rain really even started. So
we were doing the same thing, and there was a little bit of, for lack of a better term, uneasiness on Monday morning's podcast that Raylene and I did on July 10th. And then almost right away when we were done, her phone is pinging, and she says, Joe Waldsworth is on his way in here, and he's, I don't know, man. You just, when Joe walked through the door, I don't know what time it was. It was like late morning, early afternoon of the studio. Just the look on his face, you could just see that there was a real heavy concern.
Yeah.
At Washington County Mental Health, it seems like the staff everyone has removed their hat, and everyone is on the same level field of we just need to do what we need to do, and our routine of what we do every day as employees, our job titles, all of that has been thrown out the door, and we're just trying to help as many people as possible.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're in 100% go mode right now.
Still.
And none of us is thinking, well, my job is to sit at a desk and pump out social media ads.
That's it.
Like my primary role as the communications person is to, pump out branding and make sure that people understand, like, here we are. Here's what we do. Have a nice day. Call us if you need us.
No time for that.
That is not, well, and I'm still getting my real job done, but
Sure.
that is not my primary concern when I'm looking at somebody in the auditorium who is on the verge of a crisis, has no housing, their car is washed down the road, they've lost all of their food, they've lost their phone and cannot contact anybody who might be able to help them, whether it's a case manager, a family member. They don't know where their prescriptions are. They can't even call their doctor. Those I'm not sitting at my desk
and all
typing
their
up a Facebook post.
Yeah, right. And all the contacts that are in that phone.
Right, because who remembers anything but their childhood phone number at this point? Because it's all just like you push a button and go.
Absolutely.
And so, none of us are truly holding on to our job title right now. We're all just doing the things that need to be done and the new things that are coming to us, saying, oh, this person needs this. You just go do it. That's all there is.
And those new things are coming on a daily basis.
Yeah, fast and furious, for sure. Yeah. So we've been, clearly there have been several of us at the auditorium, and sometimes for multiple hours a day, meeting with people we know we serve.
Every time I talk to you, that's where you are.
I know.
The auditorium.
They're going to start charging her rent.
They might. They're really great people. They keep trying to feed me, but I just can't do it.
Are you still married?
I am. Okay. So the only reason I'm able to do as much as I've been doing is because, God bless him, Jason is amazing at holding down the fort, and the two older boys are also amazing at helping with that. Yeah. So everybody at home is
carrying their weight.
They're carrying their weight, and they're as sane as they ever are.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's saying something, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't want to discredit the work they're doing. While they'd like to be down volunteering and helping, they're also maintaining a pretty calm household for 3 autistic kids so that I can be out doing what I'm doing.
Right.
And that is not to be shortchanged.
Jason looks good. He looks like he's lost like 20 pounds. He's not eating anymore.
I mean, he's just running,
Right.
So
right.
He's feeding kids, so he's definitely eating, but he's running to keep up with them probably. So, we're out in the community. We're at the auditorium. We're trying to make sure that the folks we do serve are well served. We're also connecting with a lot of people that we have not already met.
That's it.
And wrapping them up and bringing them in so that, if they need us, if they want us.
Sure.
And some folks are looking for different services, and we're making sure that we're getting them connected to those.
Everybody's story is, everybody's situation is totally different.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It just is.
Yep.
I mean, mine is totally different from Raylene's. I mean, it's just
right.
Look around, talk to any of your friends. Everyone has a different story, a different situation. We've all been impacted.
Yep.
Differently.
We have. So one of the things we've been doing at the auditorium is we have our Managing Emotional Consequences of Storms and Flooding pamphlet. And it just has a lot of tips on how to deal with the stress and the anxiety that comes from events like these. And it's got our phone number on the front. And if you're just looking for, an immediate contact to help with your anxiety, or if you're in crisis, our phone number, 802-229-0591, is on the front. And that is our always constant 24/7 phone number. So we've been sitting with every single individual. We're not just leaving them on a shelf, although they are on a shelf if you want to pick them up. They're on many shelves at the auditorium and in various other places. But literally going in with every single, since the shelter opened, and sitting with them and talking about this pamphlet, talking about our services, discussing, if you think you need us, here's how you can call and get hooked up, and how are you doing, what are your needs, and helping people to understand where they might connect with all of those services. Mm-hmm. And then also handing out our zero suicide cards.
Yep.
So, because we want to make sure that people, in times like this, when you've lost literally everything, this makes it hard to stay afloat.
Yeah.
Literally.
And
figuratively. So we're handing those out too.
And if things were not great for you, for whatever reason, before this flood,
it's a deeper dig. Yep.
I mean, this has taken everything to a whole new level.
It has.
For mental health. I mean, it's so overwhelming. We've got so many things that are coming down the pipe. Raylene is the ultimate catch net.
Yes.
The ultimate. She catches everything. Yep. Literally nothing slips past her. But the information is so overwhelming, and there's so much of it. There's just so much of it. And it's important that you're here because, we're hearing so much about this fund and that fund and FEMA and insurance and recovery and
even just the road closures. I mean, you don't even know where you can go and how to get there. And so, yeah, a big part of what I've started the first few days was making sure that, everybody that I work with we try to be a helpful group, and even within our own community at work, trying to let people know, like, here, you can't go here. So if you've got to get to this client, find another route. Don't waste half a day halfway there and then backtrack. So trying to just make a streamline list of every alert that comes through, whether it's a road or a building or a resource. And so we have this very long email train where I'm just funneling all this stuff. And then other coworkers who were seeing alerts that I had people sending me, Lean, I would share, and things that were coming through various different towns.
Yeah.
I would also put on there so that we all had one place. So that was good. And I should say that with these pamphlets, so another thing I've been doing is going town to town and visiting with business owners and who, gosh, your heart just breaks.
All of them.
And because not only are they worried about whether they'll come back, but they're so worried about their staff and their staff's families and how they're going to cope.
Didn't we just do this with COVID for the longest time?
And that's what I was going to say. I mean, a lot of people are still feeling the effects financially, emotionally of COVID. And we just think that we're up, we're going, we're on a roll, and wham, we're right back down. Is huge.
Massive.
And that's why we need to be super supportive of each other and shop local and, check on each other and pay attention to what's going on, because this was a real hard hit and already, not desperate situation, but a bad situation.
It was definitely still stinging for a lot of folks.
Yes.
And so going in and meeting with business last week? Nope, maybe the week before. I'm in a time warp, clearly. Oh. I can't imagine why. So
I'm the captain of the time warp.
Yeah, the Friday before last, I did a 5-hour walkthrough in Montpelier, and one in any business that I could find people, even if it was just contractors that weren't even from around here, and handed out probably 500 of these pamphlets to everybody, just to make sure they knew how to reach us and and gave them several so they could hand them to their staff as well, talk to people on the street, the business owners, the contractors who are working their tails off and are probably stressed and exhausted too. Just to make sure that everybody knew we were there, and I'm doing that town to town. So if anybody that I haven't hit yet wants these for themselves, their staff, their families, please email me at heather.slayton, SLAYTON, at wcmhs.org. I am happy to come visit you, and I'm sure you're probably already on my list, and I just haven't made it there yet.
One more time with that.
Heather.slayton.
Yep.
At wcmhs.org.
Okay. We're gonna post that up in the comments here in just a second. When Raylene said to me that you were going to be in here this morning, the first thought that I had was, all of this information that's so overwhelming, information overload to so many people about. I don't know who hasn't taken a hit anywhere in Central Vermont.
Right.
And that is, it needs to be talked about more. It needs to be discussed more. I understand the importance of all of these other things, loans and grants and applications and FEMA and all of this insurance and whatnot. And
those cause more stress, more anxiety.
Of course.
How do you even...
It's a cycle.
Where do you start on the list? And the other thing that people... I think in Vermont, and especially in the smaller outlying towns, it's very natural for people to say, we'll just clean it up. We got it. It's fine. We get a group of neighbors together. We do one house. We move on to the next house. Everybody just hose out their stuff. They clean it up the best they can, and they make do with what's left.
Yeah.
But in talking with a Red Cross person a couple of days ago, what I learned was that they need a certain number of people to register with them in order to get all of the funding it takes to cover what they're doing and to give more
that's why
to
they
the
say
communities.
everyone needs to call 211
Right.
and report any damage.
Well, you also need to register
right.
with the Red Cross specifically,
no matter
and
how
with
small.
FEMA.
Yeah.
Right. So you need to register specifically.
Well, that's how you register with them.
You can
211.
Or you can go to the auditorium and register with the Red Cross directly.
Yep.
And with FEMA, the same thing. And if they don't get their numbers, then they can't continue to give more to this or any community in Vermont specifically.
And we need it.
And
so a FEMA bus
Red
parked
Cross
out.
doesn't go to your house. They they just list you. So
Right.
if you have any damage at all, even if it undermined a corner of your back acre, you know what I mean? All of that needs to be registered, and that sounds even more overwhelming, like one more thing you have to do, but that's a good reason to call. We can help you, like, think, okay, what are the things you need to do? Let us help you get your head organized.
Sure.
And that's like a one-hit call maybe to just help you take a breath, get organized. What do you need in this moment? And
I saw a
we're
FEMA
happy
bus. Will they
currently.
have a hot cup of coffee for you when you walk in the bus? Do you know? Or a cold?
I haven't been in a FEMA
or a cold
bus.
drink.
I haven't been into one.
I think my point is, I think they're going to be welcoming to you.
I think they will. I've heard good things.
They're not going. They're not going to steer you away.
And I've spoken with one person who lost their car, floated away in front of them, kind of a thing. They thought they had it up high enough. They lost their home. They lost their car. They lost basically everything. And I was speaking to them a few days ago, and just to get an update, see where they were, if I could support them in any way. And she was like, I just found out FEMA made a deposit already for my car repair. And I was like, what?
Wow.
So they're not joking. It's not like I'm not going to bother. I'll never see it. Register, because they're actively making deposits for something.
They're actively doing
It's a
things.
real thing. Like, she even showed me. I was like, okay, good for you. Like, get that car fixed. And it had already been off to the garage. Whew. So get it done. Like, go get the help. But if you need help with that stuff, like, call us, because it's even that's stressful. If you think you're not strung out about what you've lost, it's replaceable. Like, that's good. People are alive. That's good. But honestly, just getting organized can be stressful. And we understand that. And we're here to help. Last
night, and I haven't even had a chance to tell Raylene this, but last night, got in bed, laying there, and, it's been, I can't believe it's been over 2 weeks. That's phenomenal.
I know.
Just can't even
Whirlwind.
grasp that. But got in bed, and I'm thinking, and all of a sudden it hit me. I'm trying to remember things that we had down in the basement, and I think that's been kind of pushed out. All of our brains have a capacity level, and slowly now things are starting to filtrate in, and it hit me last night. I was like, oh, wow, that's gone. So there's a couple of things, and I haven't even had a chance to tell you
Have
yet.
you registered? I mean, you have your camper, your pumps,
No.
You need to get that done. So last night there was a town hall, a FEMA town hall, and it's also up on the page. We shared it this morning.
Are you
If
surprised by
didn't
that
get a
it's been
chance to
shared this
go?
morning? Surprised?
I haven't
Stop
been
it.
on. I've been working.
If you didn't get a chance to go, you can watch that now. But Chris, you're right. You can call and register, and everybody should call and register because the deadline is September 1st. Anything after September 1st will not be accepted.
Right.
And so you will stay in a hold pattern until your insurance sends a letter of determination. But everybody needs to register with FEMA before the 1st of September.
Okay.
And so get it done. There's a lot to get done. And if you start the process now and you're in with FEMA and insurance, you won't be one of those people left out in the dark if your insurance suddenly says no.
Right.
Okay.
And you see how quickly it feels like the last 2 weeks went. Do it today.
Right, exactly.
Do it
That's
now.
what I said. September 1st, I said last night, is virtually tomorrow.
Oh, hush. The
It's,
pool's still open. We can't. But
right,
yes,
but
for these
it's-
purposes.
Right, for these purposes,
Do
it's
it.
going to go by extremely quick. And
Yes.
so, get on the website. You can register from the website. You can register by calling 211. You can register by going directly to one of the FEMA locations at the ODD or wherever they are in your town. And here they do move around. But make sure you do that.
Right. So one of the other things we've had going on is that obviously people are calling our number. Mm-hmm. Some people are looking for obviously a emergency crisis assistance because people are down, and it is an emergency. Mm-hmm. It is horrible. And so our screeners are working pretty hard these days and doing a great job. Then we've got our intake department who is serving adults and families and children and funneling them into the appropriate departments. And that will depend on if you're looking specifically for a flood-related response or if you're looking for just typical services. Mm-hmm. So I would highly recommend to anybody at this point, because there are still people out there who are just calling us to look for engagement and services that are not looking for a flood-related response.
Isn't that amazing?
So I would, people still just need services, you know?
Yeah.
So I would say that if you are calling looking for services and they are flood related, if you're looking for crisis counseling, if you're looking for, if you're in an emergency, or if you're not an emergency but would like some temporary support, mm-hmm. I would recommend saying that this is flood related. And that will channel you to the right place. If you are not looking for flood related response and you just want to find out what your options are for enrolling in services, whether they are adult services, DS services, children's services, then maybe send you through another channel that will be able to meet that need in a different way.
Right.
So then you don't end up down a different mouse hole that,
right.
You think, and then you end up getting put down a hallway where you go, oh, that's not what I needed.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So just to make sure that you're streamlined into the right service mm-hmm. sooner and get the response you need, be clear, please, when you're calling, if you can, that I really need a flood response discussion right now.
Okay. And this is the phone number right here.
There's 802-229-0591. It will, if you're able, it will better serve you. Mm-hmm. To be clear about what you need. Our screeners have been out to see lots of folks. They've been to the auditorium when it's been needed. They've been everywhere. And then our folks down at Adult Access at the Center for Counseling and Psychological Services have been talking to lots of folks as well on the phone and trying to help people work through the anxiety from all of this. Every department has just been cranking. We had lots of staff that were helping. Our maintenance crews have been straight out, mm-hmm. obviously, because a lot of our buildings got really slammed. And then a lot of the staff working in those buildings have done a ton of work to assist the maintenance crew. So we had one division where upwards of 30 of our clients were displaced, and managed to get everybody out of where they needed to be out, moved into other buildings of ours or other situations, friends, family, what have you. And everything so far has been cleaned, mostly repaired. Some things still on order. I think we're down to maybe 2 people that we still need to figure out housing for, mm-hmm. but they are not out in the elements. So, yeah. And that was in under a week and a half. Everybody was like back where they needed to be, or in new housing, or at least out of the shelter. So
wasn't it just yesterday that we were talking about the housing crisis and homelessness?
That's what I said last night too. And where we are at right now. And in my mind, for me, this is a much bigger crisis than
Amen.
even the one we were facing when the voucher program ended. These are people who have lived here. More of the people affected are people that have lived here always. Elderly people that they own their homes. They only pay the utilities and the taxes. And what FEMA is going to give them, or even insurance is going to give them, because in a lot of cases people didn't have flood insurance, isn't going to be enough to buy them a new home.
No.
Right.
So where do they go, and what do they do, and can they afford to go somewhere else? Because
and pay for everything on top
right,
of
because
what they're used to.
you know, they have paid their mortgage off 20, 25 years ago in most cases. And so this crisis, in my mind, is much greater than where we were even at a couple of months ago or a month ago.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, a bit frightening. And that's why I always, you know, I keep saying it, and I do. I believe that what Tom said last week is so true, that if your house, if you can get a new furnace, make sure you are winter ready, it doesn't have to be pretty. If you know, you've cut the sheetrock up 3 feet and you've ripped out the carpets, but you are in, you're safe, you have a roof over your head, and you're warm for the winter.
And not moldy.
And not moldy, right.
Yep.
You know, do the things you have to do. Order your furnace now. Do the things that you have to do to get yourself safe for the winter.
Right.
And that's what's most important. And if your house can, a lot of cases, can be salvaged. And I know a lot of people say, yeah, I've heard the basements.
Right.
There are farmhouses, you know, JD, that have been here since the 1800s.
Yep.
On granite block foundations and God
Dirt
knows
floors.
what dirt floors that
Yeah.
are still standing today. And so, you know, it's a lot more secure than what you believe. You know,
Sure.
if it hasn't
Right.
been deemed this is totally unsafe, it's going to slide off a bank, it's still salvageable.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a little while for people to come down and
Yeah.
out of their heads to understand.
Yeah. It's
and
not home
be able
anymore,
to accept
but
it. Right.
yes.
And things are rebuildable, but I think a lot of people are not there yet. And it's going to take a lot out of the community once the dust settles to realize that, you know, we can all get together, help our neighbors, and put those homes back together eventually. But let's make sure everybody's safe for the winter and just get together and help each other out.
And like
'cause-
Raylene says, and we can't say it enough, and we will echo it to the always, is that just try as hard as you can to shop local, to do anything and everything local, whether it's eating out at a restaurant that some of them have had to close temporarily, some of them
Again.
Again, I
some
know.
of them are still, some of them are open, some of them have never closed, some of them are just struggling, and not just with equipment loss and
But
lots of expenses,
inventory
but
and-
it's staffing.
I forget what they're called down on
Yes.
Brook Street there.
That's what Michael calls them.
That's what I
They're
thought.
Debris.
Yeah,
Right.
They're at LePage's. They're trash. On Brook Street, they're debris.
Yeah,
I wish for all the money that went into that, and they worked, obviously, and they're
yeah.
great.
We talked about that last night as well.
Yeah.
Wish there would be. I was still working, so I missed it last night. I wish there would be that much work put into some kind of drainage situation in front of Mr. Z's, because frankly, the flooding there is getting a little tiresome.
Yep.
Because I would kill for a pizza right now at Mr. Z's. 35 years of the best pizza I've ever had, and I would love to have one right now.
Yeah, I mean the
But
whole
I can
corner,
tell ya-
the whole corner, Beverage Baron, Denty's, everything. That
Oh,
whole area.
Denty's, my Lord,
Yeah.
I'm so glad Rick got out of there.
Me
And
too.
all the way down North End Deli, RK Miles,
Yeah.
Cumbies.
Yeah.
I mean, just keep
Pools.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's global values now. But anyway,
Right.
So Zach went
Sure.
into work yesterday. He'd been off last week. His first day back yesterday. and got in there and sent me a picture. And the high water mark, now Zach's like 5'10", right? High water mark on the stone he was standing next to, 6 feet tall at Holes.
Yeah.
Whole granite. His polisher,
Gone.
his saw, gone. Everything at that end of the shed.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, we're
and that's
just
the
going to be
way the
shoveling
majority of
forever.
the sheds are. And we talked about that last night too, how the damage is pretty severe. A lot of the sheds have stacked granite, and all of those pieces need to be taken out, uncrated,
Washed,
cleaned, crated back up, and then still get the sludge and the mud and the muck out of there, and the equipment loss. It's huge. The sheds definitely suffered tremendously as well.
Yeah. And so all those business
Spruce
owners
Mountain.
who don't know how they're going to get their, they got to wait. They can't get their jobs done.
Right.
Nobody else on the other end can work if he doesn't get the stuff cut.
They do have unemployment assistance for people that are currently without work due to flood. If you work somewhere that is closed down, they have opened up you can apply for the unemployment assistance, the flood unemployment assistance.
Well, luckily these guys are cleaning their shed, so they're still working, but dang.
Right, but it will help with the pay. It will,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me guess, you've already posted that on the Facebook page.
I did.
You know she has.
Just had to ask.
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to the gang of people from Lancaster, PA, that are up working in our building where our studio was at 185 North Main Street. Serve Pro, TJ and his crew are not only just, I was in there yesterday. I try to get in there at least every other day if I can. It is what they've done is amazing. I mean, the walls are gone, the ceiling is gone, the floor is gone, everything is gutted. And they are just working so hard and commuting from Sugarbush every day, every morning. And they're putting in like, I don't know, 10, 11-hour days all the time. I mean, it's just, TJ has told me, hey, put something out on the air that we're hiring on the spot. They're going to be here for months. They're not going anywhere. You're going to see these green trucks driving around for a long time.
Yeah.
They're hiring. So if you're not getting a little bit of dirt under your fingernails, and you know how to work, you know how to hustle, these guys want you.
Better pay than unemployment. Just going to say.
Oh, hell yeah. So just walk over to 185 North Main Street, right across the street from Nelson Hardware. Go in and speak with TJ. It's not just our building. They have several other buildings that are waiting for them to finish up ours.
And I'm sure there are plenty in Montpelier that they're headed to.
Oh, they've got several contracts already in Montpelier. But they're just doing incredible work over there.
Yeah. And I'm sure they'll understand that if your business that you work for reopens, you're out of there.
Right.
So, no skin off your back. Just go work while you can and then head back to your job.
Raylene, what you have posted just since Friday alone on our Facebook page is staggering.
It's a lot of information. And we should mention, just while we're talking about what has been posted, that the Chamber of Commerce is also stepping up in a big way. And, they're going to do a mixer, and it's basically just everybody find a place to have a little bit of peace and normalcy for an evening, kind of talk about what you're going through, all of that. So that's coming up. That's on there. And they've also offered to provide space for office situations or meetings and they do that all the time anyways, the space, but this is on a little bit different scale where they understand that, people have been displaced and they're doing this because it's helpful.
Right.
And so, contact Kevin and the team up there.
Yeah.
If,
and that's Thursday.
Yeah.
Yes.
5
Thursday.
o'clock.
And
5 o'clock.
And that's posted
You gonna
as
be
well.
there?
I am. I'm going to be there with our pamphlets and to connect with business owners and anybody else who goes to make sure that they're fully aware of what we have to offer and that they feel supported and their staff feel supported, and to make sure that we are always available. So if they need us, because God, it's just, it's so much,
Raylene,
it's so much.
Are you going to be there Thursday night?
I don't know, because Thursdays is injection day. That's why every time there's something on a Thursday, it's all going to depend on how all that works out.
I'll be there.
I get, and if it goes well and the injection didn't cause me horribleness, then I'll be there.
Okay.
But also, for those of you who were super disappointed that there's still disappointment that the Heritage Festival has been postponed, and that there was not going to be fireworks and everything. Don't forget that the Preston's Kia Night, fireworks night, is this Sunday at Thunder Road. And so that is happening this Sunday. The show that was postponed due to rain, and we'll cross our fingers that we get through it. But this Sunday, July 30th, is Preston's Kia Night at Thunder Road. And we look forward to that, and looking forward to seeing some fireworks and being with all of our peoples, which is really nice. And so doing that. And speaking of Preston's, they have been working out of trailers for months as they redid their building. And literally the day that we were supposed to be there live for their grand reopening,
Wednesday,
they were
the 12th.
underwater.
Yeah.
And so that did not happen. Their team down there, as well as some volunteers, worked around the clock and got their brand new space looking brand new again. And they are very much open for business, and they have gotten several large truck loads full of brand new cars.
Yeah.
And so check them out.
We love them. Hey, speaking of truckloads, Michael Schumacher with us. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, JD, how are you?
What's happening over at Enough Ministries?
Well, the question might be what's not happening, but we are pretty much stocked up right now and deploying a whole range of things. So we've got free food that we're doing somewhere in the range of 800 to 1,000 pounds a day out to the community right out our back door. We're doing 300 to 700 meals a day out to various hotels and folks like that are not able to take care of those needs and don't have cooking facilities and stuff like that. So lots of hot meals going out. We have repurposed our entire sanctuary and fellowship hall as a clothing distribution center. We have clothing, bedding, shoes, boots, water, and toiletries, and cleaning supplies, medical supplies. So please come and get what you need over here at 24 Washington Street. It is the First Baptist Church right in the center of Barrie, right off the intersection there. And you'll see we have some blue canopies up and some stuff out front of the church. The doors are wide open. We've got a gentleman greeting you right inside the door. You can come in, get whatever clothes, bedding, and everything that you need. If you come around back, you can get your food needs met. And we also have a hotline set up to help connect people with resources. So that number is 661-8787. That's 661-8787. And we also have a disaster recovery page on our website. So it's www.enough-ministries.org. And if you go to that www.enough-ministries.org, you can go to the disaster relief page, and there are forms on that page, links to forms that you can fill out. So there's forms for if you have needs. Let us know what those are, and we'll let you know what the resources are for your particular situation. If you have donations to give, fill one of those out, and we'll let you know whether we can accept that and when. If you would like to volunteer, go ahead and fill one of those out, or you can just come down between the hours of 8 and 4, and we could use you then, Monday through Friday, and also Saturday. We could use volunteers on Saturday. So a lot of stuff going on here, and we've got some big deliveries and things coming through. And then the next thing that I'm working on right now is mobilizing a mobile team to start pushing these resources out into the community. We have a trailer that has been used as a clothing trailer, a mobile clothing delivery trailer in the past, and we are going to unload that to our clothing depot, repurpose that trailer to bring sort of kits of stuff out to people in the hardest hit areas, and make sure that we're covering folks that are in the middle of trying to work and things like that, and getting those care kits out to them as well. So a lot going on, JD.
Michael, thank you. How are you and Dan and the rest of the team holding up over there at Enough Ministries?
So the first couple of weeks, the first week there when it was just, such a crisis, there was a small team that put in just insane hours. And then I came in the second week and gave them a leadership relief kind of, and they were able to focus on getting a little bit of rest and some focus on primary duties that the pastors had. And so I put in some insane hours last week. And then Dan, we had a super nice Sunday out at Boulder Beach with our team and our church and everything. We had a grill out and kind of a rejuvenation day. And then Dan told me I had to take yesterday off, so I got to go back to the lake where we're staying at our seasonal camp and go fishing with my daughter. I didn't catch any fish, but I did catch a turtle.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that picture. Man, I hope you at least got a quick nap in. Would be nice.
I did. It was perfect timing because I did a bunch of stuff around the camp that needed to be done and stuff, and then there was this massive thunderstorm that came through, and I slept right through that, and then got back up and went fishing with Emma, so it worked out great.
Well, listen, Raylene and I are going to get over there again soon and throw a camera in your face and a microphone, and it'll happen soon.
That'd be great. We'd love to see you.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for what you're doing.
We might make you load up a grill again. You never know.
Happy to do so.
I saw him. I saw the pictures of him trying to impersonate Hercules, but
So I haven't even seen that picture.
Oh, I saw that.
We all know differently, but
I saw it, and I've got to say, hoeing out your basement.
Yeah.
And maybe rowing the kayak. I don't know. It's working for the biceps.
I'm telling you, there's pure testosterone in this body right here. I mean, 100%.
Well, I've seen the Wilkins dive into the dumpster.
Yeah, that was testosterone too.
Well, the development of the bicep since then.
Thank you.
Purely out of the basement has definitely improved.
Yeah,
I agree.
And I'm guessing it's hauling out the house.
Michael, thank you, buddy.
Have a great day, and thank you guys.
Thanks for all you're doing for the community. All right, we love you guys.
Thank you.
I love you too. What a great guy, man. He is just he's just
the
amazing.
whole crew is. We're very blessed right now.
Yeah,
with so many people, community members, and then institutions like Enough Ministries, the Heading Church, Washington County Mental Health,
Amy's Armoire,
Faith Community.
Wow. Amy's been letting me go in there for folks at the auditorium who barely made it out with underwear, whose shoes floated away while they were swimming towards the auditorium.
Right.
Let me go in there and get things for people.
Yeah, huge.
Into the store when she wasn't even around. Just like go in and get what you need. For people. She's been amazing, and I believe that I just shared a post, although I've got nothing left in my head, about they're needing volunteers to get some stuff
Right,
done at
to
the
sort
store
through it
now.
all and-
Yeah, to wash the bottoms, to wash the bins that things
Yeah.
are stored in, because while the things inside are safe, the bins are filthy. So if you're looking for somewhere to contribute, head over to Amy's at the store and help wash off the outside of the bins and help get that store back open so folks can access the things they need in there.
Both of you, the two of each of you separately, is you guys are animals with getting information, finding information, and getting it posted. And to combine the two of you, I know that you're going to tell Raylene something that she probably already knows. Raylene's going to tell you something that you probably already know. But the main thing is getting.
But that's the good part. We talk to each other, and then
it.
it all
Constantly.
gets out.
I mean,
you know,
daily.
it all gets out
Yeah.
there.
That's it, right there. You know, I mean, you both of you are just lightning fast. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the one last thing I really want to push out there, aside from please call us if you need us and reach out to me if you want any of our information to share with people, is I believe, and I could be wrong, so take it with a grain of salt, the only thing we don't have up and running right now is the first floor at our well space building.
I was just going to talk about that.
Yeah, we've got it completely, dug out, emptied, carpets are out. Everything that needed to be chucked is chucked, whatnot. We've ordered, or at least are getting estimates so far. I don't want to misspeak. We're working on replacement flooring, things like that.
And the
Imagination
Station.
Station's New Zealand room will be closed for quite some time. So please don't show up if you have a training, if you have the room booked, if you have any hope of using the space.
Right.
Like I did.
It was
I'm
all
so
flooded
sorry.
out. It's horrible.
It was a hot dang mess in there.
How much water? How much water was in
A few
the?
feet. There were a few feet of water and lots of mud. And although I was in there on Sunday, taking things up off of the floor and putting them on higher surfaces that were 2 feet up off the floor, it was not enough. So I've had to throw away about $20,000 worth of equipment in that room.
Yeah.
It is,
A super important space
yeah,
for
many
reasons.
people. That room is
Yes.
90% booked every week. And it's heartbreaking to see the number of people who no longer have access to that right now. Especially since it's the only space of its kind anywhere near Vermont. I will say that electronically the room functions. So we have hope. So everything you turn on in there with a remote still works. Everything that's,
Higher.
hooked up high
Right.
in the walls works.
But the bubble tubes.
Yep.
Nope,
those
work.
work. They
Good.
work. I've got them emptied. They're sanitizing. We're hopeful to be able to fully sanitize the blocks in the center that control the look of the room. And
Right.
we're hopeful that we can fully sanitize the recliner. But had to throw the ball pit. I had to throw all of the anything that was on the floor aside from the blocks
Is
and
gone.
the recliner is gone. There's no flooring. There's nothing. All of it's gone. So yeah, it's gonna take a while, but it will be rebuilt. So
I was going to ask you.
no, there's no chance of
Yeah, we'll
not
find a way.
rebuilding that room.
We'll
It
find
is
a way.
too important to
Yeah.
this community. And people come from all over the state and sometimes out of state to use that space. There's no
Right.
way it's not coming back.
Right. We'll find a way.
We'll have to see what insurance does, if there's any potential for FEMA to help. That is not my department, and I'm not even going to pretend to help out in that angle. I'm just going to sit here with high hopes for the future. And if it doesn't work out that those will cover everything I need, then y'all can bet there will be a big fundraiser coming up.
Right.
Not for a long time, because clearly we want to get people's homes situated, but eventually it's going to come.
And I just want to say that too. I want to make sure that people know, and this was part of last night's meeting. Sorry, trying to move around puppies here. Fundraising and GoFundMe's and different things like that. People need to be really careful about doing that right now, because if you accept money
Yeah.
from one of these things, it automatically will disqualify you from FEMA. You can
I
do
did
it.
look into that. Because in the 35 years Mr. Z's has been there, that's every time there's a flood, I think, please, if anybody starts one, the first thing I'm going to do is tell them, shut that crap down.
Yep.
Because don't disqualify them from any actual, like, large, potentially very useful funding source by starting something that's going to raise $4,000.
Right.
Because it won't even replace a cooler.
Right.
And so I'm always grateful that it's not happening. Because I see a lot of people starting this stuff up, and I think, God, you're kicking yourself in the pants.
And people do it from the goodness of their hearts.
They do.
You know, somebody that is a patron, or I saw somebody, you know, I knew that somebody started one up for a local store for some really good friends of mine, and you understand where that's coming from. It's
but
just
you don't understand
people want to help immediately.
What happens?
But what happens in
you want to throw cash in a bucket? That's awesome.
Right.
You want to start
walk
something
in
official that goes into the bank? Oh,
right.
No.
You want to throw something at them when you go in, or pay a little extra money when you go in, or help out, you know, whatever.
Like, I was happy to
you have to be
buy
super careful of
tons
that.
and tons of grilled dairy on bread.
Mm-hmm.
Like I needed it, but I was happy to do it.
Right.
Because I knew
Sunday
it was cash
well.
going in a bucket.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
That is not the same thing as starting a GoFundMe that gets tracked and then disqualifies you from potential other very large funding sources.
Payments. Exactly.
So, don't do those things, please.
Right. Even though you love these businesses and the people around you, we just need to hold off and let's see where we are, you know, the end of September.
They say they want to inspect your house.
Right.
Are they really just scoping it out? Like, don't let people in your home. And the Red Cross, when you register with them, do not go into your home.
Yeah.
So be aware of that as well. Like, they don't enter your home to inspect it. They just take your information and register you.
How about
and they don't go there.
How about some kudos to Team Rubicon and Samaritan's Purse?
Yes.
Love them all.
Rainey
They're amazing.
She's following them like a mad woman.
Absolutely
They're amazing.
Team Rubicon just switched out. So that's what they do. They rotate the people so that people don't get tired. So they just switched out. So a brand new, fresh crew is here, boots on the ground. And the work that they've done so far, everybody that I have hooked them up with is beyond happy and just so relieved.
We have to go see them.
We do have to go see them.
We're going to bring a microphone to them.
And, you know, we're going to have to catch up with them somewhere. They are out. And then Samaritan's Purse, same thing. And there are a couple of other groups here as well that I've been posting that are specifically here for mold remediation and mold spray.
Yeah.
And yesterday I was talking to one of the foremen there, and one of the things that he said to me is it's super important that you get all debris out of your home.
Right.
Don't let it grow.
Try to sort it in your house. Because there's the window for mold growth is super tight. And we're already at that point. We're in that point now. And so once you get mold in your home, the process becomes much tougher and much greater, and what you need then to mitigate that situation is huge.
You just need to be empty.
The city is coming around now.
Today.
Starting today. They're going to be coming around a lot, but we've posted up where they'll be, what's going on.
You did.
But they will be
Berry City, we're talking
posting
about.
Berry City, all of the debris. Get it outside, get it curbside, and they'll come pick it up, but get it out of your house.
And I'm glad you're doing that, because then I'm able to share all of those, both the Berry City information, the Montpelier, all the other towns that we serve as an agency.
And I just share what Berry City posted.
Right.
We have to be super grateful and a big kudos to Nicholas Storelli Castro.
Yep.
I mean, he is just keeping up amazing. I know a lot of people say we don't see him. He is out there.
Oh, I've seen
That
him a
man
ton
is
of
just-
times.
Me too. He's just going like
Everywhere.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like I said, sometimes those posts 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So that means he's finally done with his day. And we have to remember he has a wife and kids too.
Right. Sure.
He has a home too. And he's still, I mean, he's just kicking it. He's
cranking it out.
He really is.
Yep.
We're very lucky to have him. And,
Yeah.
super, super proud of the way that he has handled things. And I mean, he's new, fresh out of the gate, just celebrated
Sure.
1 year. And really, it's been welcome to the shit show since
Yeah,
day one.
it really
and he's still here. He
Sure.
hasn't given up on
Sure.
us yet.
Yeah.
And so, super grateful for
I
him.
said to
big kudos to
I
him.
said to Nicholas quite a while ago when he was sharing a microphone with us that when I said we were talking about big snowstorms and where's he from again? New York. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, well, this is a little different. When we get snow here, it's for real. And I also remember saying to him, and when we get rains and floods, it's different because of the topography of Vermont. We have so many hills and valleys that, I mean, it's different, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just different. And I mean, he's really getting a thorough understanding
Yes,
of
he
that
is.
now.
But he's done a great job, and
Yeah.
just amazing.
Samaritan's Purse, we're going to go find them. We're going to throw a microphone at them now that they've had a little bit of time.
Sometime this week?
Yes.
Yes, not today.
Not today.
Not today, people.
And also,
today we're going to do a show at noon.
Yes.
It's no secret.
Plug
Yes.
it.
Well, we're not.
Plug
I am.
it. Plug it.
Hillary Denton will be here with me. She works at Central Vermont, or the Turning Point Center of Central Vermont. An amazing young woman. I've known her for a long time. I'm super excited to sit down with her. And so this will be the first show in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Since
So-
we were displaced.
And where are they now?
They're still displaced at the moment.
Yeah.
Everything they are doing.
Just remote.
Remote.
Bummer.
And so, of
Jeez.
course, they have the new space, but they've been fundraising, trying to get that up and going for a really long time. So I'm not really sure where this is going to put them, but we'll find out.
One thing I would also make sure that people are aware of is that even though there's been a lot of advertising about if you need, and there's a litany of services. If you need blah, 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 go to the Barry Auditorium. Don't always. So Capstone has moved back into their buildings on Granite Street, off Granite Street, whatever. So if you're looking for Capstone connections, go
But
there.
Are their buildings open? Because
People are going there.
They were doing remote before this even happened.
No, people are going there.
Okay.
We've had clients going there. They've I was talking to Sue Minter on Saturday at the multi-agency resource center that I kind of wormed my way into. And she was saying we'll be back in the office on Monday. So yeah,
Good.
people were walking in
Good.
yesterday. So they're not parked at a table at the auditorium, or they weren't yesterday. There was nobody downstairs yesterday except for Salvation Army handing out like the buckets and whatnot.
Right.
And they were in a truck
Which I have to
outside.
go get more of.
Yes.
They could really use some more in Williamstown and in
And there are pallets of them out in
Marshfield.
that parking lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, people need to start
So
picking them up if
fill
they
my
can,
car up.
or asking for
When I
people
wish
to bring
I had
them.
a truck. Maybe I should tell my father that I'm gonna
Take the truck.
Take
Yeah,
his
I
truck.
know. And so make sure that you know where the resources are that you're looking for, because some of them have gone home to wherever they belong. Now that Capstone could get in, they're back.
Yeah.
So, and then FEMA, I would check the City of Barry Facebook page, because the City of Barry government Facebook page, because Nicholas is keeping all of the updates pretty
amazing.
tight there around where the FEMA truck is and things like that. So I would just, if you can manage it,
Yeah.
which is a tough thing to do right now, but if you can manage it, try to figure out where the resources you need are, because it's very hard to think they're all in one place and then
Yeah.
you go there
And they're not.
and you can't find it. So it's it can be frustrating and beat you down and make it even harder to manage.
Schedule again too. I haven't posted it yet today, but I'll post the shower schedule. There are showers up there. The truck of showers.
Yes, there's a big trailer with showers and with hygiene supplies out front, and it is on a schedule.
Yes. Yep. So I'll post that schedule. And Heather, I know you and others have been really working diligently to try to get the showers maybe open at one of the schools.
Yeah, so I talked to Chris the other day, Chris Hennessy. He is trying to get it figured out. So Berry City School is not an option because of the construction they're doing up there. There isn't even hot water running. So clearly you can't shower if you don't have hot water. Spalding, they did have a little cleanup, some gross mud and nastiness. They also have some construction going on down there that was pre-planned.
I'm so glad you're saying this right now, because I've been hearing questions about this too, and you're setting the record straight. I think it's wonderful. Go ahead.
So, well, and to be fair, Chris is also trying to dig out his own house, his neighbors' houses, his friends' houses. I mean, middle of Montpelier people here.
Sure.
So just because he has a job that everybody expects a lot of,
sure,
which I do too. He also has a home that's been flooded. So a
and
little bit of grace
and a family.
A little bit of grace here, people. Spalding also had ongoing construction that does affect both the gym, which is why nobody could stay in it as far as response, and the locker rooms. And so I said, well, Berrytown has decent locker rooms, and what are we going to do up here? Well, that was a fine idea. And our facilities guys headed in there, and it turns out they haven't worked in quite a long time. And they immediately went in. They'd been used for storage. So they went in, they got all the stuff out, they tried to figure out what they needed to work, and they immediately ordered all the parts, and they're working on them to get them running.
Okay.
Good.
So, he wasn't just like, oh, we'll see what we can do. They're literally working on it. Okay. So clearly it wasn't an immediate fix, but there wasn't a way to do that.
Right.
In any capacity. And he honestly is trying to get it done. And I don't know what stage of the receiving the parts.
Okay.
I just got a text from DJ Barry saying that he's taking it over at World Cow, taking it day by day, but planning on returning to our spot in Montpelier as soon as I can get a key. I'm doing some fundraising efforts and applying for local grants. I don't think a flood can stop World Cow.
It absolutely
when pigs fly,
stop,
you stop World Cow.
That's
that
right.
Guy. By the way, benefits, events, and concerts. There are several. Raylene has, instead of sitting here and listing them all off, Raylene has listed them on our Facebook page.
There are a lot of them, and the one coming up fairly quick here is the one at the Den in Williamstown, which was previously the Roadhouse.
Yeah.
And so that is going to be a flood stock is what they're calling it. And so quite the lineup of performers, and I think it's going to be a really good time.
What time is that again?
So it's July 29th at 1 p.m.
That's
is when
Saturday.
It starts. Yeah, and then on July 30th, it starts at 11, so it's a 2-day event.
Okay.
All kinds of performers set up, all kinds of, different things going on. So it's on the page. Check it out, and hope to see many there. It's going to be a busy weekend.
It is.
You got Thunder Road, you've got Floodstock,
yeah.
You've got all kinds of things to do that can maybe help you take a breath.
Sure.
And especially the Floodstock. If you want to come and if you're affected by the flood and all you've done is been cleaning and pulling your hair out and you just need to breathe for a minute, come.
Sit down.
listen
Have a cold
to the
beer.
music. And if even if you can't do that, just come and enjoy yourself and relax and be with your community. And
Sure.
and if you can give. If you can, do those things. But
Right.
come on down and participate and listen to the music and just take a breath.
Yeah.
We all need to take a breath.
And give to. Don't forget to give to
Especially
yourself.
if we're going to finish. Right.
Take
Especially.
care of yourself.
Right.
Stick
your face in the sun for 5 minutes,
Right.
take a deep breath, take a walk, do the things you need to just refill yourself a little bit every day.
Yeah.
What do we have tomorrow on Aired Out?
So tomorrow morning is Tom and I. You'll be gone. You're off tomorrow.
Yes,
Do you remember now?
I do.
Yeah, just barely.
Yeah.
Because he forgot. I'm telling you, he didn't know he was off tomorrow.
Yep.
So tomorrow morning, Tom and I will join you all at noon.
Okay.
No, at 9.
9.
Sorry, 9 in the morning.
And then
Shits and giggles.
what's at? That's tomorrow, Wednesday. What's Thursday?
Thursday, I thought that you and I were maybe going to go out on the road.
We are. We're going to find Rubicon or Samaritan's Purse, maybe both, but we're going to hit the road Thursday morning.
Right.
We're going to go somewhere.
Right.
And then Friday morning.
I don't know.
I think it's the same thing.
I'm not really sure yet what we're going to do on Friday morning yet.
But we're going to be on the air.
Yeah.
No
There are a
matter
few
what.
things in the works. We may be going to Nelson's
Yes.
one of those days.
God, we love
checking
Bob.
in with Bob. And it's and so happy that they have remained open and continued to be the backbone of our community.
Yeah.
We'd be screwed without Bob and the team
Big
at
time.
Nelson's. We're very lucky to have them.
Is that it? Do we have everything? Or
That's it. That's a wrap, baby.
Wow.
Oh,
I would offer one more thing. As you're looking ahead, the mess is cleaned up and you just need something to look forward to. Sunrise Wellness Center
Yep.
of Washington County Mental Health, who is largely cleaned up but needs to restock, is still holding their Red Sox versus Orioles
yes.
ticket fundraiser.
Yes.
nice.
Which was supposed to have ended, but we've extended the sale of the tickets until the last day of July. So if you're looking for something fun to do in September,